All right. We are live. Maggie Cooper, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling good. How about you, Sue?
I am starting to feel better. I had a little headache. It was a long day, but I took an
Good.
ibuprofen 800 and I'm starting to feel much better, man. Thanks for asking.
Absolutely.
Are you ready to present this amazing information we have tonight?
Yes, I'm super stoked, excited to bring this forth to our people so we can let them know, hey, we're going to break the barrier of home ownership.
Awesome. Well, it looks like we have 5 people on so far, which is amazing. That's great. People will start to log on. It's 7:30. Where, as you can see, guys, we are on time because we realize it's Thursday evening. Some of y'all might be tired, and we don't plan to keep you very long. Maybe just a 20-minute presentation, and then open it up for questions. How does that sound, Maggie?
Sounds awesome.
Awesome. If you have questions, feel free to drop them. We will be more than happy to answer your questions at the end. So you can drop them in the chat. Make your comments, and we will definitely answer them at the end. So Maggie, so let me just do the housekeeping rules real quick, and then we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to ask you guys to totally focus, please, 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 please focus. Turn off your phones. It's not going to be any longer than 20, 30 minutes presentation. So please turn off your phones, avoid all distractions. Put your questions in the comment section, and we will get to them at the end. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you guys to Realtor Extraordinaire, Miss Maggie Cooper. She's closing 50 to 70 loans a year, and she's in South Carolina, and she's doing amazing things. I love working with her. She has a heart for first-time home buyers, for veterans, for anyone, to be honest with you, who buys a home through her or anyone else. That's the thing about her. She's still willing to help you even if you're with someone else. So I love partnering with her. I love my other realtor partners as well. I don't want y'all to be getting jealous. I love y'all too. But tonight we're here as a team to discuss the lease to own program. So, Maggie, I'll let you take it away.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I want to start by thanking each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us tonight. We are super excited about tonight's workshop. It's all about breaking barriers to owning your own home. So right now we're on slide one, and I want to get on to so you understand the main focus of this workshop: lease it, love it, own it. Okay. This is what we're here for, to talk about leasing a home, how you can fall in love with it and eventually end up owning it. This isn't any your old traditional rent to own, but bunch of red tape, being a little scared, not knowing if the person dies, what's going to happen. Like, this is something that's legit. This is a program that is built for everybody. All people who want stability, who wants control, and want a real pathway to home ownership. This is what this property actually bring forth to you. So pretty much on this first slide, this is all we're going to be talking about. We're going to be diving into this so you understand it. And pretty much you're going to lease it, you're going to love it, and you're going to own it. And there's going to be 3 different options that you have to be able to do that. We're going to discuss that a little bit further. So take it away in slide 2.
Awesome sauce boss. Thank you. We wanted to let you guys know that this is a fairly new program. It's only been around for about 7 months. And I am excited about it. As soon as I heard about it, I wanted to jump on it and just begin to share it. One of the things we wanted to do is present a family who's actually gone through this program, because we understand that people have hard times, but they still want to buy their homes. They don't want to throw money away in renting. Well, here is Samuel and Paola. I think I got their names right. They're like a lot of people, great renters, always paying on time, but trapped in a cycle where the rent keeps going up and up and up and up, and their dreams keeps slipping away. So, they've been renting for years. Their rent started at 3,000, and it ended up to 43.90, almost $4,400. I mean, that's a big freaking rent increase. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not down for that. I mean, I know insurance and taxes can sometimes go up, but they're not going up like that. So, and then with the price of groceries, the price of gas and credit cards, you name it, as Shirley Caesar said, uh, everything is going up. So that meant that debt to income ratio went up. They're responsible, but they just couldn't qualify for a home loan. And so this program was actually able to help them qualify for a home loan. Maggie, talk to us about how it's getting even harder to rent and own.
Absolutely. So this is data, you guys. And the truth is, rent is rising faster than our darn paychecks. Okay. Over the years, rent has increased 6 times faster than most income. Between 2000 and to right presently now, rent has gone up more than 130%, y'all. That's crazy. Over 130%. But most people paychecks is nowhere close to trying to keep up, which doesn't talk about the increase in gas and the increase in grocery and the increase of all the other things that we got increasing for us to be able just to live our daily lives. And this it really isn't just a local problem, it's something that's across the world. This is a nationwide issue, and that's why this program is so important, because it helps us close that gap to give you guys who are renters another way to build futures. Even to our other realtor friends that's on this call, even to other renters like you, it gives you the possibility to make home ownership possible, because it's all over the nation that rent inflation is crazy. And we want to make this thing possible for you all.
Yes, I love it. 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 So I know you guys are saying, like, what's so great about this program? Well, this program is going to save a lot of freaking deals. For one thing, the biggest thing, and Maggie and I talked about this a while ago, a lot of people's deals are killed because of debt to income ratio. You
Mhm.
just have way too many more debts than you have income coming in. And here's the thing, though. The funny thing about it is so many people are in that situation, but yet they're still paying $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, $1,500, $2,000 rent. And I hear it, I see it all the time on social media. I'm paying all of this rent, but I can't qualify for a mortgage. And so that is one of the great things about this deal, is that it allows for higher debt to income thresholds, meaning that you can have a little bit more debt and still qualify for this program. Even if you've been through bankruptcy, if you've been out of bankruptcy one day, you can qualify through this program. If you are self-employed and you don't fit inside the mold of traditional loans, you get a 1099 or you're an I-10, you can qualify for this program if you meet the guidelines. You've only been working 12 months, whereas in most loan programs want you to have 2 years of employment. You can qualify for this program. So this is why we are so hyped about it, because in my opinion, most of the people that I deal with or that I know of or that reach out to me, they fall into these categories and they're like, Sue, but I'm paying my rent on time. I've been renting for 12 months, 36 months, 48 months, 72 months, and I just want a house. I'm never late. I can pay my mortgage, but they just won't give me an opportunity. Well, here is your opportunity. Maggie, anything you wanted to add to that?
Nah, I want to go ahead and just talk about some of the real life scenarios to kind of piggyback what you're talking about when it comes to some of the debt to income ratio, which is pretty much goes over to the next slide.
Okay.
Pretty much letting you know that because real life situation happen. Y'all know, like I'm on this thing, life be life, and so things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Certain time you probably co-sign for a car at the last minute. You buy some furniture right before closing. You may have a couple of overdrafts or some deposits that hit your account spirit, not on the regular basis, but every now and then. Those are things that are a red flag in a traditional loan process. But these things right here, these real life scenarios, it doesn't stop for this program. It still make this possible for home ownership because it make room for life to happen. And that's what's so powerful about this program. It gives you a flexibility with the debt to income ratio, just like what Sueham was saying, and also the bankruptcy seasoning. All of this is extra, so much extra benefits where the traditional process, even though it's almost like a traditional process, but it gives you a little bit more flexibility. And that's the best thing that I do love about this program. And it actually help you with whenever some real life scenarios come up, this program still makes it possible.
Absolutely. So like we said, charge-offs and judgments, they're not factored into your DTI, and that's why it allows for a higher DTI. We can use alternative credit, like your utility payments, your rent. Definitely, we want that rent. Again, if you've been on your job for less than 2 years, we can still work with that as well. Now, what does the process look like? Because I know you're like, oh my God, it sounds great. I got to be honest with you. Let me tell you the first thing that I do want you to know. You are going to have to put down a down payment of 3.5%. Okay. And we'll get deeper into that because I've had quite a few people come to me and they think that they can do a regular lease program where they just take the first month rent and the deposit, and it's all good. It doesn't work that way because you're buying this. You are accruing equity. You're buying this. So it doesn't work that way. So you will have to put down a down payment, and there will be closing costs, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But here's what the process looks like, because I know some realtors are on this call, and you're wondering if it's really different. It's the same process. You still have to do a pre-approval with the mortgage broker, preferably me. Uh, and then once you get the pre-approval, you, the realtor, take your awesome client out, and you look for a house within that pre-approval range. What happens is you find a house, you sign the contract. Step 2 is you submit that to us, and we get it over to the eligible government entity who's going to buy that home, and they will look at the contract, make sure everything looks good, and they will purchase the home for you. Step 3 is you enter into a structured finance agreement to lock in the lease option. This is why we said this is not that old school lease to own. None of that crazy stuff, because you're actually entering into a binding agreement stating that you're leasing to own this property, purchasing it from an FHA entity that is eligible to purchase that program for you. So you don't have to worry about those scary stories where I've actually talked to people where they're like, Sue, I had a lease to buy agreement. They call it rent to own agreement. And the landlord waited until I got down to my last payment and said, I don't own anything. I mean, can you imagine hearing some crap like that? And then in another story I had where the person said, hey, the landlord is telling me now that they're going to sell the house. Either I can refinance the house in my name or they're going to sell it. I thought I was leasing to own it. So it's nothing like that, guys. Nothing at all like that. Step 4, your payments are going to be made every month. And every month that you're making these payments, guess what? You're lowering the balance on what you owe and simultaneously gaining equity on your path to home ownership. Step 5, say again, Maggie.
That's so amazing. It's just
It is.
crazy.
It is. So you know what? Let's not gloss over that, because if you're renting from Mr. Joe, right, and you've been there 10 years and you just decide, hey, I don't want to rent no more, or I'm moving to a bigger place to rent, guess what? Mr. Joe has collected all of that money. You have not gained any equity whatsoever. You just pick up your stuff, rent a moving truck. Hopefully you get your deposit back and then you move on to the next place. That's not the case here. You are accruing equity. So if for some reason you say, hey, 4 or 5 years down the road, I want to move, guess what? You can sell that home. And that home should be valued at more in 3, 4, 5 years, which means that you can make money upon selling that home. I don't know any place that you can go and rent and do that and build equity. All right.
Right. Right. All right, you guys. How this program protects you. One of my favorite things about this program, you're not renting, you're securing your future. Okay? Let me just say that one more time. You're not renting, you're securing your future. This lease option price is recorded at the county, which make it legitimate because you're still going through the regular process of purchasing this property. However, you are just renting it. That means that you have official, everything's official. It protects your right to purchase it later. You're not going to get priced out or have the rug pulled from up under you, which would have has happened in this in the scenarios that Sueham pretty much just mentioned. And we don't want that to happen to you guys. This gives you stability while you work on improving your finances. One other thing I did want to talk about too, based off the steps that Sueham talked about, and I'm not sure, we may discuss it a little bit further down the road as we get to the other slides, is that typical turnaround time to get to the closing table is just a little bit longer. It usually takes anywhere between that 45 to 60-day window, so you can get to the actual closing table.
Yes, that's very important. So it's very important that you work with a realtor who understands this program, and you work with the realtor who can explain this program, right? So, because it can take 45 days, which is what some USDA loans take. It could take up to 45 days. So this is no different, and it could go up to as long as 60 days if there's issues with the property that we need to get taken care of. Thank you, Maggie, for that point. You're absolutely right. All right. So how do you get the house in your name? If it's a leased option, how do I own it, Sue? Well, you can assume the loan. That means you can just take over the underlying FHA loan from the government entity who bought it from you. You can sell the property. If you sell the property, you own it 5, 10 years. You bought it. I'm just throwing out numbers here. Hypothetically, you bought the property for $100,000, and in 5 years it's worth $150,000, and you sell it for $150,000, and you make, there's $50,000 in between there. Guess what? You walk away with that $50,000. You walk away with that equity appreciation. So if you only owe 100 and you sell it for 150, baby, that 50 is going in your pocket. You can't do that when you're renting an apartment from somebody, or a single family house from a single landlord, because you're not accruing equity. Or you can get new financing. Or you can do nothing. You can just keep the lease to option the way it is, pay on it for 40 years, and it is yours because you paid it in full. So you have so many ways to convert this lease to option into a loan for you. Now, why is this important as far as following this journey and doing this process, having this program? Because one, you may not have the credit or the income to be able to qualify for a normal loan. So it allows you that time to get yourself together while leasing and building equity at the same dang on time.
Right.
So, yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
All right, you guys. Before I get on the property conditions, which is my slide, like I just want to just recap those multiple ways again, because it's so crazy. Like this is just so mind blowing to me. Um, Again, you can assume the FHA loan and simply take it over. You can refinance it into your own loan later when your credit improves, which gives you time to get yourself together. Or you can sell the property if the value increase and cash out the equity. Like there's no better way. It's just crazy. I just have to reiterate that stuff because it's just so crazy how amazing this program is. Like
Again,
it's
like you said, tell me what landlord is going to give you those options. And I'm not trying to sell y'all on it. I'm just happy about it because I think
right,
it is the best thing. I'm not knocking anybody who wants to rent. I'm an investor, so I have tenants. And if you want to rent forever, I love you long time for it. But I'm also a proponent of people achieving financial freedom. I'm a proponent of people opening up the doors for more opportunities. And when you can do this and you can accrue equity, you can use that equity for whatever you want, whether it's to buy a business, whether it's to start a business, send somebody to college, whether it's to pay off high interest credit card loans or an auto loan, whether it's to buy an investment property so that you can rent and start making that money. It's whatever you want. But with this program,
right,
you have that option to do that, and you can do it even with not the best credit and a higher DTI rate, debt to income ratio.
right. All right, you guys, let's get to property conditions because that still is a big requirement. We want to make sure you're stepping into a solid home still. So the same thing on any other FHA property, any other property that you're going to have. Your home must pass inspections. This means major things like the roof, the HVAC, plumbing, electrical must be in good shape. Also, certain properties won't qualify, like investment homes, really older homes with unsafe wiring. We'll guide you through that every step of the way. Whenever we're out shopping for properties, we'll make sure, and that's why you need an expert lender who is familiar with FHA guidelines, who's familiar with what's going to come up as an issue on appraisal. So we can kind of pick out these things, and we can say, hey, based off what I'm seeing in this house, that the seller isn't willing to address it, this may not be a house that may be the perfect fit for this particular program, because we don't want to waste your time, and then we don't want to put you into a property where you're going to end up having issues. Now let's be clear, no home is perfect. I want to be super, super clear on that. No home is perfect, but we want to put you in a situation that if there are issues going on with that home, we want to get that addressed. We want to get that addressed for you guys ahead of time, so you don't have any issues that came from what was already going on with the home before you purchase it. We want everything to be a clear slate. So once you get in there, whenever any issues do pop up, that's something that's new, in which those things are maybe expected over time. Because as a homeowner, you take the responsibility of handling conditions whenever whenever issues come up. However, having warranties and things like that in place to help you as you are going through this process will be able to help you, because again, you're doing a rent to own, but you can't go back to the bank and say, hey, my HVAC system just break down, send somebody out here, because this isn't your traditional rent to own situation. Okay, I want to be clear on that. So we want to make sure property conditions do meet this program requirements. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The home buyer qualification is flexible, but when it comes to the property standards, that's not. Because remember, we are the home is what is, that's the collateral. So it's got to be good to go. One of the great things I do love about this program, though, Maggie, and everybody that's on here, is that it allows for a duplex to be bought on this program. Remember how I was saying you could become a landlord yourself, you could become an investor. So imagine using this program to buy a duplex. You live in one side and you rent out the other one. Man, y'all better go head on. Yeah, y'all better go head on, man. So no second homes, no investment properties, no 3 to 4 units, no co-ops, but you can buy a duplex. You can buy manufactured as long as it's not single wide. And you can do condos as long as they're already approved by FHA. No on the spot approvals allowed. So, Maggie, I think you covered that really great with the home inspections. That's very, very important. So, here's some common exceptions, guys. Now, we've been telling you that you need a 580 credit score. Okay, this program will allow for a credit score lower than 580, but here's what I recommend: don't do that. Because when you start to go below a 580 credit score, you're going to be required to produce more items. More items like you may have to have 2 months of reserve. So let's just say you're buying a house and the mortgage payments are $1,200. Well, guess what? Because your score is below a 580, now you're going to be required to have $2,400 in the bank in reserves. That's not your down payment. Okay, that's extra money. Then also, you will be reduced to a 43% debt to income ratio. So, and you're also going to be required to show where you've made anywhere between 24 to 48 on-time rental payments. And so we just don't want to do all of that. It's too easy to get to at least a 580 credit score. So let's get to a 580 credit score. And if you have difficulties with that, we do have some credit improvement specialists that we can recommend, and they can get you on the pathway to getting your score up, hopefully higher than a 580. Okay. So those are some of the exceptions, but understand this: you will be required to provide more. So let's just go with a 580. To be honest with you, I personally don't even want to find the money for you if you're below a 580, because it's going to be just too much. Unless you just came into a bunch of money, then hey, we can make it do what it do.
Right. All right, let's talk about some down payment and closing costs. So here's the beautiful part. You can get started with as low as 3.5% down payment, and that can even be gift to you, just how it is with your traditional FHA loan types. Okay, closing costs usually is between 3% to 5%, but seller concessions can help cover those costs for you. And again, we're here to help you map this out in a way that is affordable for your personal situation. So it's still your typical cash to close, which is your down payment and your closing costs. And you can still get that seller concession because this loan is still treated just like an FHA loan.
Absolutely. Maggie, I think we have a record. We stayed within our time frame. It's been 25 minutes and we made it to the end of the presentation. And now we're opening up for questions. And we do have some questions in the chat and on the screen. So um, Antoinetta says, what's the best way to find a listing for lease to own properties?
So if that's a question, I can take that question, Sue.
Yes.
So pretty much it's any property. It's just like you're purchasing a home. You don't have to look for these selected properties. Long as it fits within your pre-approval range in an area that you're looking to purchase in, baby, you can pursue that property. And again, property conditions still matter, but again, having an expert agent by your side can be able to help you find those particular properties. But don't think that you're put inside of a box. The only thing that puts you inside of the box is your pre-approval amount, as long as that property meet the conditions that you're looking at purchasing.
Okay. You cut out on the last little bit, Maggie. You said as long as it meets what?
As long as it's in an area that you're looking to purchase in.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you asked that question. That's a great question. And I'm glad you answered that so beautifully, Maggie. That's right. It's just like getting a pre-approval from any other lender. You go out and look for your house. That it's no different. The only thing is you find it, you do a contract, and you come back, and now we do a lease to purchase, a lease to option. And the FHA government entity purchases that house for you. And now you enter into a lease program with the entity who has purchased that house. And that's how that works. Great question. I hope, did we answer your question? I hope we did. If we didn't, let us know we did a messed up job and we'll try to get it better. Jacqueline, how do condos qualify? So FHA has approved condo lists. So what we would do is we would look it up to see if the condo is already approved, then it's good to go. If it's something that we have to get approved, it's not going to fly. So, and yes, there will be a replay of this webinar. I'll be sending it out via email to you guys. If not tonight, it'll be in the morning. Do we have any other questions? And when we send this replay out, we would love it if you guys share it with whomever. We want to get this word out and help as many people as we can. I'm not seeing any other questions come up, so that's leading me to believe that we must have covered this material really, really well. So I think, guys,
I do want to say this too. So if you guys are shy, if you do feel like you want to have a personal conversation one-on-one, me and Sue will be happy. You could text us. My contact number is 843. It's right there on the screen. Where you can reach out to me. Let's schedule a one-on-one time to talk more. If you have some personal situations that you don't want to discuss on this platform, me and Sue will be more than welcome to actually talk to you guys more on a one-on-one case, so we can make sure and see that you actually fit the criteria to be able to pursue this program, because there's still requirements. However, if you do meet those requirements, it will be an absolute amazing program that you can get into.
Thank you. I'm glad you said that. So I'm going to put this shot up. I'm going to make it real big so you guys can screenshot it if you want. There's Maggie's telephone number. My website is on there to set up a free 15-minute consultation. If you want to go deeper into this, I would love to assist you. Again, we have a heart for the people, and we understand that a lot of people may have the money for down payment and for closing costs. However, they just exceed the debt to income ratio, right. Or maybe they just got out of bankruptcy, or maybe they haven't been on their jobs 2 years, and so we can, or maybe they're self-employed and they just want to use 3 months bank statements. This program is for you. This program is for people who've been counted out, but just know that it is still 3.5% down. and of course, closing costs that have to be paid. Destiny says, awesome material, learned a lot in a short time. Good deal, good deal.
Awesome.
Any other questions or anything else, Maggie, you think that is relevant to share at this time?
I think we covered the main important points. I'm not sure if you want to go a little bit into um I guess we did okay. I think we did everything. We covered everything. What I'm thinking about was just more of the cash to close, but we covered that again. Still the
Mm-hmm.
3.5%. Closing costs is anywhere between that 3 to 5%.
Mm-hmm.
Good to go.
And so don't let that scare you guys, because again, the 3.5% down payment, it's 3.5% of the purchase, okay, cost. So that can be gifted. If you have a family member that is got the money, they can gift it to you, mommy and daddy, uncle and auntie, or bay, whoever. Um,
Right.
your rich auntie, your rich uncle, they can gift that to you, your best friend, and it could be a gift. And then, like we said, with the closing costs, we're in a buyer's market right now. Today is June 26, 2025. So if you're watching this beyond that, it's a buyer's market right now, and sellers are contributing towards closing costs.
Absolutely.
Trust me, I've been
Absolutely.
selling properties, my own personal properties, and Maggie knows I've had to give up closing costs in order to get the deal closed. So,
Right.
and I also give up closing costs because I love helping people get into homes. So yeah, it cuts into my profit a little bit, but at the same time, I know I'm going to get it back in other ways. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
all right. I don't know. I don't think we have any other questions. I don't see any other questions. Okay. And who knows, maybe we'll come live and do this again next month for other people who may want to be on live and ask questions, but we will get the recording out to you guys. Maggie, real quick, just tell them again how they can find you.
Absolutely. You guys can always find me on my social media, which is Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Maggie Cooper Realtor, or you can reach out to me anytime on my cell, 843-687-1730. I'm your real estate advocate over here in the South Carolina area, and I'm ready to help you accomplish all of your real estate goals and needs.
Awesome sauce. I'm Salandia Hammond, aka Sueham, baby, with loans with sueham.com, powered by Edge Home Finance. And my NMLS number is 2519087. By law, I got to give you that license number. But you can find all things mortgage related at loanswithsueham.com. Feel free to book your 15-minute loan consultation with me, and we can discuss your very own scenario and prayerfully get you into a home. It's not too late right here in 2025. Thank y'all for joining us. We love y'all. Looking forward to working with you.
All right. Y'all have a good night.